Next we have The Trouble with Shellshock, one of my favourites. I actually saw this first on VHS, but the funny thing is, I saw Green with Evil parts 1 to 3, not knowing how it ended, which was upsetting and frustrating as a child, believe you me. Green with Evil parts 1 to 3 were on one tape, and parts 4 and 5 were on another. Anyway, I saw this episode before I saw the end of Green with Evil, so I thought, oh, Tommy must be turned good by the end then. So I unwittingly spoiled it for myself, sadly. This is basically a Squat and Babu focused story, weirdly enough. They sneak around the palace while Rita is asleep and create a new monster, Gamera. Or rather, his name is Shellshock. Great name, shorthand for PTSD. Shellshock is one of my favourite monsters. With his traffic light stuck in his back, a Captain Hook's hook, he can retract his head and use a cannon, or retract an arm and use a baseball bat and balls. Just goes to show you can make a horse by committee and it works, especially if the makers of said monster are a pair of idiots. It always worried me that the chimney sound of the machine would wake Rita from her sleep, and they get busted. But it doesn't happen, comedically so. When Rita learns of what they did, she's very impressed, to Goldar's irritation. Squat and Babu send in Shellshock, but not before Tommy leaves to practice karate. Boy, Tommy is the lone Green Ranger, isn't he? His character is kind of a standalone guy, which is why girls loved him and boys wanted to be him. We'll see this a lot as, no spoilers, but the Green Jew Ranger would be separated from the group after his initial story arc, coming in to help but only at the last minute until he was written out of the show. Saban was therefore saddled with Sentai footage that didn't feature the Green Ranger so prominently, so they needed excuses, reasons for Tommy to be partly absent for each episode. For example, frequent karate practice, rebuilding Kim's mock parade float to surprise her, working on his Frankenstein party costume, which is funny as that's the monster they fight on that occasion, helping his students when they were afraid during an earthquake, noble, sustaining an injury while trying to stop a monster kidnapping Kim, tied up by putties, looking for his karate belt as well as Jason's for a talent show, and recording a commercial for the better part of an episode that he can't just leave. When Tommy is on screen, however, we can rest assured that he too is a teen with attitude.
Let's show this turkey some real teamwork! I'm a Power Ranger till the end!
Hell yeah! Shellshock blasts Trini with his Go Beam and she can't stop moving and runs off. Other than Jason, Shellshock freezes the others in place with his stoplight. Zordon reassures Jason that there is a cure for the others,
A rare flower.
and Trini can be used to find it. Meanwhile,
Wait till those teenage mutants see what a full-grown turtle can do.
hahaha, TMNT joke, very self-aware and apt. Shellshock freezes the Zords with his stoplight. Trini arrives with the flowers and leaps atop Shellshock's head, sprinkling dust from the flowers that subdues him. The Rangers are all unfrozen and the T-Rex blasts Shellshock with his tornado, dusting him.